If there was one thing Vine decided during her time in hospital, she was never going to give up due to his charms again. Her attraction for him was still there. No matter how he treated her, her heart was still an idiot for feeling bad. Yet, her anger was much more than her feelings. She moved the duet over her head and closed her eyes. It was rude, the way she moved, but not like whatever he did was anywhere nice. Jungkook exhaled and closed his eyes. He was a smart man, a clever person to read people easily. How could he not read his own wife and believe in whatever he thought was right? He couldn't love wine. Jungkook and his father decided to join hands for business at the name of wedding. He made it clear to his father he was not marrying for love. He wouldn't be able to give his daughter any kind of affection. Jungkook wanted to clear it to Wine himself, but her father told him he would take care of it and proceed with the wedding. Once they got married, Jungkook believed his message was clear and delivered to Wine, and that she married to him knowing all of that. He was a man who woke up every day without any surety that he would return to bed at night. His life had no guarantee, and he didn't want to make someone fall for him and leave them at the end. That would be unfair towards that person. He didn't want to break Wine. Little did he know he broke her without it too. As they got married, Jungkook caught feelings for her. He tried to stay away from her. He tried to avoid her, especially after he put the condition of loveless marriage. He was sure she would only push him away too. That one night, when she made dinner for him, his heart had melted on the spot. Slowly and gradually, it was becoming so difficult for him to control himself, all that to save her from a lifetime trauma. He couldn't be that cruel to her. Days passed quickly, and night went by slowly. Every minute he spent on the same bed as her, unable to hold her, his body would burn and his heart would cry. So that night, using that very childish excuse, he told her that he told her he wouldn't ever love her because of her looks. He was giving her a whole new reason to hate him. He thought it would make her angry and he will eventually start avoiding him too. He felt like it was successful when she ignored him for the next 2 days straight afterwards. The pain in his heart never died, but at least she was not making it any difficult for him anymore. Now all he needed was to avoid her, to somehow make it easier for himself too. In all that avoiding and running away, he missed how she was starving and in fact killing herself. He was the reason behind her pain, and listening to her outburst made it clear she didn't know about the loveless marriage condition. He cursed again and pulled out on his hair. How was he supposed to explain it to her now? Vine loved her father. How was he supposed to tell her everything without ruining the image of her father in her eyes? He couldn't take a father away from his daughter. Jungkook, good night, Vine. He turned off the lights and lay down beside her on his side of the bed. He stared at her, unmoving, sheets covered figure. He was a coward, he told himself. He was pathetic, he told himself again. He cursed and cursed at himself until he slept. All he did was trying to stay stick to that stupid condition he put forward, the stupid condition that he thought was what wanted by Vine as well. He should have communicated. Instead of running away like a coward, he should have talked to her face to face. The next morning, he woke up to find Vine already gone. When he asked the maid, he was informed that Vine did her breakfast all nicely before she left. She probably went to meet her father. She was serious. He lost her when he had the golden chance. He gave her pain. Now he was the one suffering even more than before. He could handle his own pain, but not hers. The next day, and the next day after that, and a whole month after that. All Vine did was return home to sleep. Some nights she didn't even do that. The color had started to return on her face, and she started looking much better and healthier. They never communicated. Jungkook tried to talk to her every night and every day, but she never entertained that gesture. He begged and died every night, every time she refused to talk to him, but he was surviving. Until today, now that he stood in the building and found his wife a little extra comfortable with the potential heir of another group, he said something which made her laugh. She looked good laughing. Jungkook lost the chance to be the one in his place. The two of them drank coffee and he suddenly wiped the corner of her lips with his thumb. It drove Jungkook mad. He balled his fists and took a step forward. He was going to rip him apart in pieces. How dare he touch his wife? Yet, he stopped. When Vine didn't mind that gesture, instead, smiled at him in return. She deserved that person who didn't ignore her to stay sane, who didn't hurt her, and didn't criticize her body. The more Jungkook watched, the more it drove him insane. He felt pain on the left side of his chest. It pains there often now. He lost the chance that he had been given. Excuse me, sir. He looked at the girl who called him. She was an employee, and Jungkook read her name from the card hanging down her neck. Jungkook. Yes? Vanya. Do you want me to call Miss Vine? She must be done with the meeting now. Jungkook. There is no need. She bowed and left. He realized he must be looking like an idiot. He turned around and decided to do what he should have done a month ago: go talk to her father and demand his answers. A gentleman would let her go to be happy with another guy, but Jungkook wouldn't, because he was not gentleman. To be continued.